Hello and welcome back to Sunday Ramblings. Today's video is kind of an update on the very first one I ever did, where I talked about AI art and kind of related to that. I think NFTs, maybe the main topic definitely was AI art. And since that video has gone up, there's been a lot of development in that part. It's been around a year, I want to say. Around there, I'm not quite sure. Maybe even a bit more, I don't know times. But regardless of that, things have happened and some of the ideas I had or opinions I had still remain the same, but some of them have changed in the year that has since passed. And the main thing that I still stand by from that video is that a huge problem that art made by artificial intelligence has is there is no consent of the artist whose art is being used to create this, make that. There's just no agreement anywhere that says, yes, I consent to my art being used by others to create art through prompts written into a program. That's just not existent, and that is the main problem to me, or at least one of the big problems that AI art has. You put your art anywhere on the internet, and in this time and age, there's a high chance someone scooped it up for some sort of bang. I don't quite know how these are actually called. Let's call them a bang, for some sort of bang to then put into a prompt generator and then make art using your art style or coloring style or whatever to produce art that wasn't made by you, that looks like yours and that had none of the effort that you used put into it. Someone literally just wrote some words into a program and the program went, yes, I have an idea, which that's not how art works. I love making art, I love creating things in general, and to me, just the process of making something is important. I enjoy making things. Of course, I like having an end result, especially a good-looking end result at the end, but to me, the fun is the creation process of it, and to just take that entire thing out and just have a product at the end that pretends to be something it's not is... I can't quite put it into words, but all of the words I want to say are just bad. It's bad. I don't like it. And the issue that now it's so widespread and known, and not just art by now, but also just prompts and writing, that people are losing their jobs because the companies are like, yes, we can do this for much cheaper actually if we just put words into our program and then our program spits out words. So we don't actually need you, which isn't, the kind of future I want to see as someone who has recently decided to switch over to going into design and animation and all that. That's just not the best outlook, actually, So to have this reality where people are actively losing jobs or don't get opportunities because people would rather cut down on costs and instead use artificial intelligence rather than actual human beings who studied for this, who have emotions, who can look up and fact check things better than machines could because you know what to look for and you know how a human approaches things, obviously because you are a human. That's insane to me, how we live in a reality like that. I don't quite know how to put into words how frustrated this makes me. And it's not just people losing jobs and having no opportunities to go into that, but it's also there's so much AI art, I'm kind of putting it into quotation marks, AI art out there and generated images, that it pollutes what you actually want to search for. If you look up, the main example I saw was looking up peacock babies, how a little peacock would look like, which the actual one looks quite brownish, greyish, and a bit, like a wet feathered thing. I I think it looks cute, but I also like kind of like birds. But the AR generated images of a peacock baby are blue and with big eyes, and like how Pixar would maybe draw like an animated version of that, which is just not true. These things are actively spreading misinformation, and a lot of these generated images crop up on pages like Facebook or more forums and pages where people who aren't quite as tech savvy live or like spend their time. And these people just don't understand or like don't really get that this isn't a real image. This is something that a machine made up and now pretends it's reality. A lot of like, at the time I made the first video, a lot of the things people said to figure out things were like, oh yeah, look at the hands, if there's way too many fingers, or the hands just look like some kind of flesh abomination. But now, AI has gotten better at doing hands, but there's still inconsistency that you can look out for. However, if you don't know that this image you're looking at might or is probably AI art, you don't look for them. And so many older people, or just people who aren't as tech savvy, find these images, and they're often like wholesome images or just images made to create interactions with the post that it's attached to, and these people react to these images as though they are real, and they are just not. And this whole debacle about like artificial intelligence replacing humans and creating lies, essentially, is so wrong. How did we get to this point in our current history? I don't really have much to say, actually. I know in the original video, I was like, well, there's some good uses for AI, and I honestly still stand by that point, that there's some good uses for artificial intelligence, for example, like using it to create an interactive story. That uses artificial intelligence, and that's a good use for that. Or that's like the one example I currently can think of. But there's some good uses for artificial intelligence, but currently the way it's being used is so bad that I don't have much to say other than it's a huge problem, and it's something that right now needs really desperate addressing, because otherwise it's just gonna spiral out of control. I'm ending it here because I don't have much to say other than repeating my points again. So if you enjoyed my ramble today, or well, this was kind of more of a rant rather than a ramble, maybe consider liking and subscribing the video. Woo! Yay! I am a YouTuber, I do things. Anyways, bye bye, see you in the next one.